Today we're out here for Thanksgiving. Check out the place where the Pilgrims departed from the old world here to the new world 400 years ago. So I thought it kind of fitting to come down here. They left here on the Speedwell, which wasn't seaworthy, so they got on the Mayflower in England, where they then actually almost sank. I have a whole video on that on the Markzware channel. By the way, Markzware Cyber Monday, whole day gonna do a live stream, so check it out. I'll show that video a bit over there maybe. Anyway, let's go check out the church here, the last place they were, where they said a prayer for departing for effectively the founding of America. Okay, make our own little pilgrimage today on Thanksgiving. I've been here years ago at that pub years ago. Turn right here. Okay.
Turn right on Divorce Drive, then left. Your destination is on the left.
Yeah, there's the church to the left. Interesting. Okay, now we gotta find a place to park her. Beautiful area down here, if you're ever in the Netherlands, Delfshaven and Rotterdam. Now we gotta go left. Okay, we'll park back here somewhere, I guess. You see here that Delfshaven itself is 600 years old. So when the Pilgrims were here, it was like, still old, 200 years later. Here's the old brewery. State Brewery, the Pilgrim. Yeah, restaurants aren't open. Here's the old church itself. Old sundial up there. Old Protestant church. Actually, it began as a Catholic church and then switched. And they have a little plaque here. This is the starting point of the Speedwell on which the Pilgrim Fathers sailed to England on August 1st, 1620. They changed a boat there for the Mayflower bound for the New World. That would be the USA. So they got a few more plaques around here. You can read this one. In 1600, 100 English Puritans fled to the tolerant Netherlands to practice their strict religion. That was in Leiden, yeah, so they say. And then on July 22nd, some say August 1st, depending if it's a Gregorian or the, which calendar you follow, the Pilgrim Fathers prayed together on the quays of Delfshaven for the last time before half of them boarded on the Speedwell for the New World. But the Speedwell proved to be unseaworthy. Only the Mayflower, the ship that joined the immigration in England, was capable of the journey. After months of hardship, many deaths, they found their way to Plymouth, Massachusetts, where I've seen the rock where they said they landed. And by the way, the Mayflower itself almost sank, I have a video of that Mayflower almost sinking and how a printing press screw saved the day over on Markzware's channel. There's a little bridge here. So effectively, the Pilgrims were separatists, and they left England because they, seek religious freedom from the Church of England. They were welcomed in the Netherlands, and they stayed in Leiden for 11 years. William Brewster was a former diplomatic assistant to the Netherlands, so through that position he got some contacts to come to Leiden. They moved to the Netherlands around 1607, 1608. Brewster was a typesetter, printer, amongst other trades. In 1617, the congregation was stable and relatively secure, but there were ongoing issues that needed to be resolved. Bradford noted that many members of the congregation were showing signs of early aging, compounding difficulties some had in supporting themselves. Many had spent up their savings. It was hard finding work in the Netherlands for many. They made a list of reasons they had to leave, including discouragements that they faced in the Netherlands, the hope of attracting others and finding a better and easier place of living. The Netherlands was too loose for them back then. Still many see it that way. They found it important to keep their English heritage, but also to be able to freely honor God the way they saw fit. Not all the congregation was able to depart. Only 100 or so left on the first trip. Right, on Saturday, July 22nd, 1960, according to Julian calendar, or August 1st, according to the Gregorian calendar, both were being used at that time. The ship departed 60 tons from the quay at Delfshaven. The Pilgrims hooked up with the merchant adventurers. That was a group of wool trading Englishmen who had a monopoly on the trade in the Netherlands to a large degree through Delft. And actually they were moving to Delft from Dordrecht, Middelburg actually. And they set up a deal with the Pilgrims to help them with the wool trade, in a very risky way, to go to the New World and help them with their trade. So that's how the Pilgrims were able to get to the New World. Otherwise, it would have been very expensive and hard to set up. Well, it's bad weather here. Maybe that's why the Pilgrims left the Netherlands, is nasty weather. Well, I guess England wasn't much different. Well, I just found it neat that it was 400 years ago that they left. Set out to start, effectively became the New World. Kind of interesting, the architecture with the spirals on the left and the right hand side. Oh, wow, look, we can go in. Let's go check it out. Hey, hi there. How's it going? I didn't know we can get in there. I thought it was closed. Like a theater or puppet show or something, I don't know. But yeah, they apparently said a prayer right out here somewhere on these walls, and people on the other side apparently were all lined up because it was, you know, quite a sight to see 100 people getting ready to cruise off to the New World. It didn't happen every day back then. And this is right where it happened. They would have come in on the canals here. It took like 7 hours to journey up here. Today it just takes, 45 minutes to drive from Leiden to here. Pretty wild. Look at these old boats. Let's check out the architecture a little bit. If we zoom in there on that. Anyway, just came down here to check it out after all these years. 400 years ago, they cruised on over to America, and today people in America are celebrating Thanksgiving. This is the old waterway leading into Delft, which is where they would have come from. Leiden, Delft, and then here. Anyway, pretty cool. What's this old? Yeah, so Delfshaven didn't have any city rights, although it was under the yoke of the city of Delft till 1795 when the French came in. It's interesting. So this brewery was like where everything happened. Police station. And they also call it the City Hall. Well, it's a beautiful little area down here. Here's the backside of the church. And the brewery. So this is where they rolled in and rolled out of. The Pilgrim Fathers. That's where it all started. Well, after 11 years in Leiden and probably many years in England trying to figure out what they're going to do. Where they ended up. Behind the channel here where they actually finally go out to the North Sea and then to the Atlantic Ocean. Saw this big on the Admiral Petersen Hein. And anyway, I just saw this big monument here. Over Delfshaven, 1577. Died on June 1629, so he was here when the Pilgrims were cruising out. Anyway.
Dat ze niet alleen automatisch je geld innen, maar dat ze naar je toe komen om te kijken hoe
In 600 meters, turn left onto Himrad Single.
niks hoeft te doen, omdat ze alles voor je regelen. Bij Ascent noemen we dat energie van vandaag.